This is the trade that made me $30,000, and in the past 2 weeks, I made over $92,000. Let me actually show you my history of the MT5 before we get started with the analysis. How do I here? Okay, so 90. I'm sorry, not 92, 91,181. These were all my trades from the past week. 2 weeks. As you can see, I have been on a pretty nice winning streak here. Last couple of trades were small losses, but here, these two trades, it's the same trade on gold, which is right here behind it, which made me $30,000. And in this video, I want to break it down exactly how I managed to make $91,000 trading and made $30,000 on this gold trade. So I'm going to give you a top-down analysis exactly how I did it. There's some key components I want to discuss, which are very, very important when it comes to analyzing and taking your trades. So here's the trade, but let me remove everything from my chart and start from the very beginning. As always, number one thing is determining your bias. Your bias is the foundation of your trading. It's the foundation of your trading system, because by determining your bias, you already set up yourself either for success or failure, because bias is going to help you to decide which direction are you going to be trading that specific asset. In this case, it's gold. For me personally, I always look at the weekly time frame. I look at the previous weekly candle. If not, I look at the daily market structure. In this case, as I was looking at the weekly time frame, this is what I saw. Crazy, stupid market price action, right? Nothing clear, no direction. The price is simply stuck in this range right here. So what do? If that's the case, I drop to lower time frames such as daily. I open the daily and I have exactly the same story. We do have some higher lows, but then we have equal highs, no direction. I was like, damn, I don't think I'm going to be able to trade gold this week because I cannot determine the bias. But what happened is a very, very interesting thing. I noticed crypto and stocks start to rally. What does that mean? Let me jump to different, not chart, but screen right here, and quickly explain you what is risk on and risk off assets. Simply, risk on and risk off assets is a market cycle that happens no matter what. And if you're able to read these market cycles, you're going to be much better trader, because it's going to help you determine the bias and it's going to help you determine the direction of that asset it's going to move. And very quickly, let me quickly explain what does that mean. So there's only so much money in the world, right? Okay. That money needs to flow somewhere. It either flows to risk off or risk on assets. What are risk on and risk off assets? Risk on assets are simply a high volatility assets, high risk assets, which traders, investors, hedge funds tend to be more aggressive on when there is good economy, good market conditions, not high inflation, when simply there's no wars or crazy things happening in the world. You tend to see the money flow into risk on assets, right? When the money is flowing to risk on assets, it needs to come from somewhere. Where does it come from? It comes from risk off assets, which causes risk off assets such as gold, dollar, and JPY to drop, and risk on assets to rise, and vice versa. When there starts to become higher inflation, when there's wars, when there's uncertainty, when there's political changes, money starts to flow to safer assets, gold, dollar, JPY, which causes risk on assets to drop. As you've seen the past couple of years, crypto stocks was dropping and gold and dollar was rising. And now what I started to see with the crypto and stocks going up and gold getting a little bit stagnant, I started to notice a pattern which may cause a gold to drop. So even though my weekly and daily bias was neither bullish or bearish, because I've noticed that pattern of money flowing into risk on assets such as crypto and stocks, I was expecting the gold to drop because the money needs to move. Okay, so that was my first notice. Next, after I set my bias in which direction I want to trade the markets, I need to find the zone where I'm going to take those trades. So simply I drop straight to 30-minute time frame, and between 30 to 15-minute time frames, I need to identify. This was I did a replay mode because this is where I took the trade. Okay, so now I need to find a zone where I'm going to take those sells. Now I know I'm going to take sells, where I'm going to take those sells. And simply when I'm trading gold, I'm mostly looking at London and New York sessions. The gray zone here is New York and the green is London. And in those sessions, I need to find my supply. I need to find where's the liquidity laying. And this time on a 15-minute time frame, right on the previous New York session open, I noticed this indecision candle followed by a big impulse. What does that mean? Indecision candle is simply a accumulation of liquidity and then drop. What I understand by accumulation of liquidity, if the price wants to continue going lower, the price will need to come back to take this liquidity before dropping further. So it dropped the next day during the Asia session. The price came into this level, started showing rejections. London session started showing rejections. I was like, okay, now I have the bias. Now I have the zone that looks pretty valid. I can take a step another step forward by dropping to even lower time frames to find my entry confirmation. Okay, last thing, for my entry confirmation, I need change of structure, I need a liquidity sweep, or I need a reversal pattern. Very, very simple. What I noticed these Asian highs right here and these London highs right here. So I was waiting for a significant reversal or a liquidity sweep. Here, the price swept the liquidity of this London high here and Asia high here. Okay, now I dropped to even lower time frames. As you can see, with these time frames, I don't play around. Higher time frames, weekly, daily, bias, 30, 15-minute supply and demand, and 1 to 3 minutes, my entry confirmation. I don't look at any other time frames. My analysis is always consistent. My analysis is always the same, okay? So now I do have the liquidity sweep on, on 2 minutes. I can go to 2 minutes. On 2 minutes, I noticed this reversal pattern, which is double top, and simply, that's where I entered. I noticed this not just a liquidity sweep, but also shift in market structure, because as you can see, we took out these lows right here with this move right here, and simple, that's where I entered. And whenever my bias is not just based on technical analysis, but also of fundamental principles such as risk on and risk off assets, I tend to risk a little bit more. I remember I was even trading this live inside of the hidden edge. I closed this trade live, I believe so, for $30,000. Actually, if I can open my Discord, let me quickly show you. Yes, I remember I sent this out here. Gold sells. So this is the trade after, okay? And then here, I send it out. Potential sells on gold. It's literally this chart right here that you're seeing right now. And EU. EU also played out perfectly. I didn't take the EU trade. And then here, I was $6,000 in profit. And then so on and so on and so on. I won this trade. This is where I took this trade. It was around 1 to 5, 1 to 5.5 risk to reward trade. Unfortunately, the price did drop a little bit further, but I was happy with the profits. The other thing I did was here, as you can see, big swings move up and down, was simply a CPI data. So I was like, guys, I'm really confident in this trade. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set my stops to break even. And this was a little bit lower right here. I'm going to set my stop loss to break even. and you know, pray for gods. And the price during news came really close to my break even, and then it dropped. It was all recorded during the live. And that's simply how I made $30,000, guys. And that's how I made $92,000. I've been trading this account and documenting this account, all history here, since the very beginning, right? Since April 9th, every single trade was taken inside of the live trading session, inside of the hidden edge, or just shared the setups. As you can see, we have been bumpy up and down. I did have my best trade ever, 6-figure trade, also on gold, also with my bias based on fundamental concepts. But also, as you can see, we had some choppiness, we had some losses following that, then another big win, 20,000, then some losses again, and then a nice winning streak in the past 2 weeks, which helped me make $92,000. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. It's my new channel, guys. In this channel, I'm only going to be posting about trading, only going to be posting about charts, trading psychology. It's going to be no vlogs. I have a vlog channel, which is DaviFX, which is main channel. This is going to be my extra channel. Also, if you want to be part of the Hidden Edge, if you want to watch me trade live, watch me execute these trades live, check out the link in the description and fill out the form, book a call with my team. We'll see if you're the right fit, and I'll see you on the other side. Let's go.